What's up, YouTube? Joseph here, and I give you guys a deck profile slash um, OCG tournament review, um, straight from the organization themselves. I will leave a link to the page if you guys want to check out the deck list. So in the OCG, they have a Princess Cup. The Princess Cup is pretty much an all-female oriented tournament where only female duelists can participate and play, well, Yu-Gi-Oh! They did it the tag team tournament style, which is pretty much you and your teammate pretty much battle another team, and you guys utilize, um, side deck mechanics and stuff like that when it comes to just going over what you're playing, what to do, what cards to side in, what cards to side out. So it's very interesting and very exciting to see the ladies, um, not just the men in the game, but the ladies in the game show off their skills. And I want to pay attention to the tag team uh, winner, the first place winners in their tag team. So the main reason why I am featuring this and talking about this in a profile is because the second place deck that won, and one of my personal favorites, which was part of the team of the True King Draco Dinosaur Yang Zing, is the Harpie ladies. And I'll post this also on my Facebook, and I'll post the picture as well. So it's a very strong set. This is a very unusual yet strong setup for it. And their opponents were a tag team of Cosmo um, decks that really. I took a look at them and I was like, okay, they were pretty much trying. Every deck here was pretty much trying to deal with, dealing against True Kings and the random zoo and stuff like that. But the Harpy deck was pretty much solid. Um, like I have my opinions on what they ran, but as a whole, this is pretty much when I look at the OCE decks, they are very creative. And I'm not saying the TCG doesn't have that, but I see it more with the OCG and how they like to just set up like a ton of random and it wins and it works well. If you look back at like some of the other tournaments that have been going on, they've been really just rocking it lately. So I wanted to take the time to talk about the current setup and what we have going on here. So for the Heartbeat lineup, I'll start off with, of course, the monsters. We have we have three Harpie Jailer, three Harpie Queen, three Harpie Harpist. We have three Harpie Lady 1, two Harpie Dancer, one Harpie's Head Baby Dragon, one Harpie's Pet Dragon, one Dragoonity Dark Spear, and one Elector that's off birds. For the spells, we have one Harpie's Feather Duster, we have two Harpies Hunting Ground, we have three Hysteric Sign, two Swallow's Nest, one Quill Golos, one Phoenix Pike, one Monster Reborn, and one Dark Hole. And then for the traps, we have two Feather Storm, two Hysteric Party, two Icarus Attack, two Call of the Haunted, two Imperial Iron Wall, one Compulsory Evacuation Device, one Torrential Tribute, one, oh, for the extra deck, we have one Exciton Knight, one Cora Gorgon, one Diamond Dire Wolf, one number 39 Utopia, one Gagara Cowboy, one Castell, two Lightning Chidori, two Ice Beast Zero Fine, one Ragnar Zero, one Harpy's Pet Phantasmal, one Mega Phantom Beast, Draco Sack, one Red Eyes Flare, and one um, Ancient Pixie Dragon. So I want to start off with the monster lineup. So let's talk about the monsters. Okay, so everyone has their own virtue of how they run Harpies when it comes to the Harpy setup itself. Um, the queen, the chandler, the dancer, the harpist, and then any variation of Harpy lady. For me, I tend to just like to run. Of course, the one um, I like running, in my opinion, is a full set of each. The three queen, the three dancer, the three chandler, the three harpists in the set of any variation of harpy lady. But, everyone has their own setup to how they want to run it, which is perfectly fine. The dragons make an appearance, like all three dragons are in this deck. Big Dragon, Baby, and Phantasmal. Of course, you can see the rank 7 plays. You have Chandler, and you have Dark Spear. Dark Spear lets himself go, or you can synchro with Dark Spear, make Ancient Pixie, and then have Chandler hit the board. They can make rank 7 plays as well. So I like not only the creativity, but I like the concept of the monsters and just the whole overall combination of monsters. When you look at this deck, it seems very cohesive. It seems not only cohesive in terms of setup, but it seems cohesive in terms of why certain monsters are in it, why certain monsters aren't in it, um, and then also just the whole lineup itself. So that's the monsters. For the spells. Three sign, two hunting ground. I mean, every Harpy deck at this point is practically running that, unless they're running the three hunting ground. Um, no elegant egotist, which surprised me because I don't see an ego. I guess they didn't want to go for ego. I You have room for it. I guess that's what the Swallows are for, but I'd still run the ego. I would never just leave ego out. I mean, they are running Monster Reborn, Double Call, but still, I wouldn't leave ego out, especially if you want to go for a push player, make Phantasmal Dragon. Because this is now we are in link format on both TCG and OCG, so it confuse. I would still run Elliot Aegis. I mean, you're running through Harpy Lady 1, maybe sided in the Aegis, but I'd still run it. Feather Duster. It's nice to see Feather Duster. I'll get to the trap lineup with Feather Storm in a minute. Quill Pentagonos is a compulsory evacuation race in a pot of Aphris in one. You send two monsters to your deck that are win from your graveyard, and you select one monster on your one card on the field that's face up. No, I did one card on the field in general, and you bounce that card back to hand. So you pretty much get two monsters in for one. You can start sending back Harpies, because I didn't see an Emerald. I think that's maybe the tag team partner had Emerald in their side deck, because I don't know exactly if this was like one player plays one player and the other player plays the other, or they had the share board and everybody just has to play on the share board, and during each player's turn you guys share the same the same monster faces and stuff. So because I can't really speak for it because no video from them, but just what we see in the deck list. But I think that'd be really awesome if they did do that. Just in terms of you have the setup and everything. Um, so yeah, overall, I like the lineup. Just like to see the. Oh, I haven't talked about Phoenix Pike. Uh, Phalanx Pike. I'm sorry, Phoenix Pike. Pretty much, if you equip it to a monster, any monster in the graveyard with the same name as the monster that has the card equipped to it, he will gain five. That monster will gain 500 points for every monster in the graveyard with that same name. I.e., there's like 14 harpies in this deck. You give it to one harpy, and she's practically a giant beater. So that's really awesome. Onto the traps. Two feather storm, two hysteric party, two Icarus, two call, two order, Imperial Order, two Imperial Iron Wall, a Compulse, and a Torrential. So right off the bat, I'm enjoying the fact that we see Harpy's Featherstorm in the OCG because I hadn't really seen. You guys know I check tons of lists. I had not seen Featherstorm in a while in the OCG since the OCG had it. Um, so it's nice to see it. I think I seen it in the True King Draco Harpy deck, but I think that was like 2 months ago. Yeah, 2 months ago, where I seen it. hadn't seen it since from any other variation, but I think it's nice to see it. I see it too because I can understand the two of just as you're trying to fit in everything that you possibly can. Especially when you think about the fact that you're running double call, you're running double parties, you're running reborn, so you really aren't going to have that many like Harpy monsters. But I would still run the third, maybe the Iron Walls. Well, let me just go down the list entirely because I want to talk about his third party at two, and I can see it because of the call with Hanage at two in the reborn. So I can understand it. And plus, you want the call of the reborn to pick up the non-Harpy monsters, and party can pick up whoever party can pick up. And plus, you're running Dark Spear, so Dark Spear can tribute himself and then go get other Harpy monsters. Next is Icarus attack. Of course, when you be stable, it's nice to see Icarus attack in here. I guess with the Imperial Iron Wall, because the little monsters can't get into the big ones by um, the Cosmo stuff. If you've seen it, the Cosmo deck, Cosmos need tend to rely on that whole mechanic of I'll return myself to put another one of myself on the board. So put another Cosmo on board. So with Iron Wall, they can't vanish. So you're pretty much locking them out of that. So they'll have to tribute or normal summon for the normal summon. Compulse and torrential, just extra removal from what I can tell. It isn't bad, but I would like to see the side decks for a lot of these. Then let's go into Evil's the extra deck. Exciton Knight, because OCG has it, and it's pretty much a big board wipe anyway. Core Gorgon, I like Core Gorgon. A lot of my deck profiles you guys seen, I run Core Gorgon to redirect stuff so that my stuff doesn't get destroyed by card effects when they're targeted by card effects. Um, Dire Dyer, just a really good one of pretty much take out a monster to take out a monster. Really well with Harpist because you can either make it with Harpist or you can pop Harpist and pop another card. Utopia, I guess for Lightning, if the teammate or Lightning extra deck. Cowboy's a staple. Castell's really good staple. Two Chidori, two Ice Beast. Of course, this is Harpies, a winged beast oriented deck, so see why they're here. Ragnar Zero to deal with stuff. Monsters who are getting Tinkies off. Um, Anything that wants to amplify its attack power. One Harpies pet Phantasmal. There's no Divine Wind. I would like that scene too. Because I think honestly, if they took the Utopia out and put in the second Phantasmal, you'd have two Phantasmal setups at least, or a Phantasmal as a backup. Red Eyes and Draco said because of the seven plays. The Ancient Pixie Dragon I think is really awesome because with Trinity Dark Spear, you can go into Ancient Pixie, you can play Hunting Ground, and then pop your opponent's stuff with her effect, which is so pop. I like Ancient Fairy. Ancient Fairy, um, she pops a field spell. So pop a field spell, give you 1,000 life. You search for a field spell. And then you get the additional normal summon. I think Ancient Pixie just blows up stuff when the field spell is played. And I can't remember her secondary effect. Because I know she has one. I just can't remember what it is. But, the Ancient Fairy, Ancient Pixie monster, really decent 5D's monsters, I have to say. I own both actually, Ancient Pixie and Ancient Fairy. So it's nice to see one of them come out the extra deck and do some field spell damage. But yeah, that's a pretty nice lineup. Pretty much, nice everything. I'll have the link in the description because I'm not gonna go over the Cosmo or the. My main focus here was just to focus on the Harpy deck. But like I said, I'll leave a link in the description so that you guys can have access to it from YGL organization, and you guys can check out the other decks as well. So this is pretty much the end of the profile. End of the video, and I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch it. And till next time, this is HBJ signing out.